Senator Collins.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Admiral Gilday, the fiscal year 22 NDAA sought to empower the CNO by requiring the CNO to submit his or her fleet size requirements directly to Congress. In July of 2022, the first such requirement was submitted and called for 373 ships compared to 296 in the fleet today. Your navigation plan, which was released that same month, called for 96 large surface combatants like those built at Bath Iron Works in my home state. Two questions. First, when do you anticipate that your analysis will be released so that we have the benefit of your guidance in drafting the bill? And second, is it likely that your updated fleet requirement will be greater than the 373 ships in light of China's modernization?
Ma'am, on the first question, I've committed to Congress to deliver that report by the 10th of June this year, and I will make that deadline. We are on track with our analysis team to do that. Secondly, with respect to not only the size but the composition of the fleet, I would expect that to change from the last report, particularly in terms of composition. It's too early to tell with respect to size, but quite honestly, ma'am, I can't see it getting any smaller than 373 manned ships.
Thank you. And that's quite a ways from where we are today.
Yes, it is.
General Berger, as we were sitting here, a headline came across my phone, and it says, Pentagon comes out against law requiring military wish lists. And it came across just as you were explaining why you need more amphibious ships, and that was your #1 unfunded priority. Isn't it important for Congress to know what your chief unfunded priorities are?
From my perspective, it's been useful, I think, to submit it from each of the services and you to have visibility on what's not in the budget for whatever reason. So from my perspective, it seems useful if it's useful to members. And it has been in the past.
It's definitely useful to us, and I don't think that Congress is going to take the Pentagon's advice on doing away with the unfunded priorities list. Admiral, let me return to you. Could you explain to the committee why our surface Navy is so important as a deterrent from a deterrence perspective?
So the destroyers, the cruisers that we have at sea today are really the backbone of the fleet, along with our aircraft carriers and our amphibious ships. You just can't replace forward presence. It's there to not only ensure that U.S. interests are looked after, but that we're also poised in case any crisis comes up. We reassure allies and partners that we're there 24/7, 365. A full third of the Navy is forward on any given day. A second third is in maintenance. And the remaining third is either just returned for deployment or is ramping up to go. That's where we belong out forward. The Secretary of Defense has directed readiness levels to us, and those are ships that are ready to respond within 10 days. Those ships are all at sea now. And so what we're trying to do in order to take advantage of the firepower that we have today is to improve our maintenance cadence as an example, to send more ships to sea. The more, the better. The bigger fleet, the better.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
So we'll start with you, Secretary Del Toro. Last